Namaste. My name is Shiv. Today we are going to discuss something about called debt to capital ratio. So basically here we will learn a few points like point number one about the debt to what is debt to capital ratio. Point number two, where we can use it. Point number third, interpretation of debt to capital ratio. And point number fourth, finally, we will take numbers from the basically online site to consider the basically real number so that we can come to know what should be actual debt to capital ratio for a particular company. So let's begin. As you can see here we will talk about the debt to capital ratio, right? So basically, debt to capital ratio is the capital structure ratio. Sometimes we can call it a solvency ratio also, and sometimes investor call it as a leverage ratio also. So basically, this ratio is most often used by investor and lenders to evaluate if companies is overburdened with debts. Here, debt means loan in which company need to pay the interest to the bank or lenders. So if we break down the classification or basically statement, so we will come to know that as a part of capital structure, a company may have debt capital and equity capital. Debt capital refer to money borrowed by the company from the lenders to run the business. Equity capital refer to the money given by the equity shareholders or owner of the company to the firm. Now, debt to capital ratio basically shows how much of the company's capital is funded by debt capital. Again, I'm repeating, debt to capital ratio basically shows how much of the company's capital is funded by debt capital. It help in understanding if the company has taken significant debt such that it overburdened to the meet interest expenses. Now, if we go to next slide, here we will get the formula for debt to capital ratio, which is total debt divided by total debts plus equity. Total debts plus equity, you may call it total capital also. Now, here we should consider some example to understand in detail. Now, when we talk about the total debts, so here total debts, uh, in total debts, we are considering short-term liability as well as long-term liability. This long-term liability and short-term liability we will get from the balance sheet of the financial statement, right? So you may have a section there, non-current liability and current liability. So in that section, you will get the total debts number. Second, we will divide the total debts divided by total capital. Here the terms total capital means total debts, which is short-term liability plus long-term liability plus equity. Equity also you will get from the balance sheet, which is in your financial statements. Let's take an example. It's a generic example. Let's assume short-term liability of the firm is 30 crore, long-term liability 70 crore, and equity capital is 80 crore. So if we consider this example, what would be debt to capital ratio for particular firm and company, right? So if we take the example, so as we see, debt to capital ratio formula is total debt divided by the total capital. So here we will consider basically this is 30 CR plus 70 CR is your total debts then divided by total capital. When we consider total capital, we will add all these three things, which is 30 plus 70 plus 80, short-term liability plus long-term liability plus total equity. So it will come 180, and 100 divided by 180 will be your 0.56. So this 0.56 present that company is having a debt of 56% of total capital. Now, here we need to understand the key point. What are those key points basically? So, ideal ratio for debt to capital ratio will be 0.5 or less than that. Second key point will be in tough time, company with lower DC ratio will survive better versus a high DC ratio. And whenever we are going to compare the financials, so we should always consider same sector company. Then higher DC ratio will be acceptable with stable cash flow only. There would be company you can find that in which DC ratio will be high. So in that case, if you are going to accept that DC ratio, so main point you need to focus that company should have stable cash flow. Second, company not having a good DC ratio or greater than 0.5, it means company may have high risk for the basically to meet the interest liability. Then normally you can see that the company called construction company will have uneven cash flow. So in that case, what happened? Sometimes construction company get more order versus last year, and sometimes company get less order versus last year. So in that case, if, cash flow of that construction company will not be always in proper manner. So that would be considered as an uneven cash flow. It means company will have higher DC ratio. So here risk will be high, right? And their chances of bankruptcy will be also may increase. So basically, here we need to be careful while choosing or taking any decision with regards to debt to capital ratio. Second, you will have a company like power company, you will have a company like a bank, you will have a company like a NBFC firm, where you can see that debt to capital ratio is high, but that can be accepted because there would be stable cash flow. So if you have stable cash flow, you may consider basically that firm, right? We will discuss in detail about the high to debt capital ratio. We will interpret. So basically, if company has high debt to capital ratio, it indicates that the significant amount of the company's capital structure is funded by a debt. That could be loan, that could be bond, right? That could be borrowed from the sister concern company. High debt to capital ratio will invariably lead to high interest cost. High interest cost will generally lead to lower profitability. So if you have high debt capital ratio, your profitability will come down, your expenditure on interest will increase. So also, if the company's liquidity position is deteriorating, the company will find it difficulty to meet its interest expenditure in tough time. If company fail to meet its interest payment continuously, lender would worry about their capital. So basically for lender, that would be NPA. So they may even ask for repayment of capital if required. A low liquidity position and loan repayment request by lender will further deteriorate the financial position of the company. Since high debt to capital ratio will result in lower pre-tax profit. As I told you, if you have high debt to capital ratio, it means you are going to pay high interest on your capital. Again, that is going to affect your P&L, and again, P&L will affect your pre-tax profit, as it considered as a negative for equity shareholder also. Now, if you have lower debt to capital ratio, that could be interpreted in a such a way like if company has low debt to capital ratio, it basically indicates that the significant amount of the company's capital is funded via equity. Here, debt portion is very low versus equity. Since the ratio is lower, the company will have relatively low interest expenditure because fund will be given by the equity shareholder or owner. Under such a situation, the company's operating profit will automatically translated into better pre-tax profit because we are going to pay less interest, and that will very minimal impact on your P&L automatic, and that will resulted in increase in profit. Also, having low debt to capital ratio consider positive to equity shareholder. Here you can get the confidence of equity shareholder. So that would be good for your business. In the future, for any business expansion, the company will have flexibility to raise the fund via debt instead of equity as a ratio relatively lower. Now, here we come to know that what about it's all about the debt to capital ratio and its formula, its interpretation and meanings. Now we are going to consider basically a live example. So here uh, we have is extracted a financial statement from moneycontrol.com. You can consider any company. So basically here I have considered company called Tata Steel. Here company I have considered called Tata Steel Limited from the Money Control website. Now, here if you want to calculate the debt to capital ratio, so first you need to identify the total debt of the firm. So first you need to consider long-term borrowing, which is 31,381 crore for Tata Steel, and you will get here short-term borrowing, which is 7857 crore for Tata Steel. Now you have to add this one and this one to get the total debt for Tata Steel. Now you need total capital. So for total capital, you have to consider total shareholder fund. So this 74563 plus long-term borrowing, which is 31381 plus you will consider 7857, right? Let's uh, go for calculation. So debt to capital ratio equal to total debt divided by total capital. So here short term and long term numbers will be 31381 plus 7857 divided by your shareholder fund plus long term debt plus short term debt. Now you will get the number 0.34. So what does it means? It means that Tata is still having 34% debt of total capital investment. And as I told you, lower ratio is good for the firm. So if company is having lower DC ratio, it means you can get the confidence of equity stakeholder, plus your interest burden will be less. If over the period DC ratio is decreasing for that particular firm, so that is good sign for investor. It means company's profit, company's profit, which is you can see here reserve and surplus, can be distributed among the equity shareholder as a dividend. Again, that is good. Second, this reserve and surplus, if increased, that fund can be used for future expansion of the project. Second, any additional line item can be added in the manufacturing, right? So you can interpret in a detail also as per the nature of firm or as per the you can say condition of the economy. I hope you like this video. We'll meet again with new topic and we will try to explain as we explained today in detail. Namaste. Bye-bye. Take care.